Head on to Houston in the middle of the night. I got my red eyes, praying I can catch my flight. Hey, you guys, welcome to your favorite midnight show, Fast, Hard, Finish. Or as they say in Mexico, Rápido, Duro, Fish.
Ooh, I came. I don't know about you. The show's over, guys. Thanks for coming. You win, we win. Big ratings. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. Scott's drinking tonight, folks. It's been a good day. Let me just tell you, work. I haven't drinking for about 25 days. Drinking. I don't know. It's been 25 days. And my wife on Thursday, she said, "What should I bring home from the food store?" And I said, beers. And she did. She brought me some brown ale.
Beards with beers.
Yeah. Your beard's looking pretty sexy, and your back end. Oh,
you mean the party in the back that we got flowing?
Yeah,
today?
man. I didn't know that you were that to the groove, but the shirt says something a little different. But yeah, I'm double fisting today. The brown ale is by Bell's. Say that fast. Bell's Brown Ale, double fisting. Cheers, guys.
And I got the Buffalo Trace. We're hitting the bourbon neat tonight. No change from a normal Saturday night. I'm catching up. I mean, I just finished up trick or treating with all the daughter who's Captain Underpants for Halloween, and my nephew who's a SWAT team cop. And that kid is afraid of everything, which makes Halloween hilarious.
Well, somebody's got to beat Captain Underpants down, right?
Oh, she's unstoppable tonight. This is her Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh,
like she's been planning our decorations since Labor Day. It's been crazy. Halloween is a crazy day.
It sounds exciting in the background. I'm getting a little, back end of that.
Yeah, our dog is not trainable at the moment.
Well, you know what? Was that the dog that you mentioned in one of your articles this week on nimblewnumbers.com?
Yeah, famously, she decided that AirPods are a nutritious snack, and so she ate them. She ate the AirPods right off the end table. Like we found the right AirPod, and it had a tooth hole through the speaker, and then you found it? Oh, that's good.
The left one was the round part was completely gone. It was just the skin part.
Yeah, so not in entirely whole condition when we found the other side. So at least it was not passed through the digestive system of our very excitable puppy.
Can I ask you a question, Bo? Have you purchased your new set of AirPods yet?
No, I have not.
How about this? I'm going to up the stakes of our head-to-head. If you beat me, I will buy you a new set of AirPods. If I beat you.
And so you're going to say 2 weeks no pay if I lose.
That's exactly right. Just this week and next week they're just like I'm just like all those likes and all those views are mine. There's mine.
See, for me. I'll take that deal, and you're a fool because I'll do this shit for free.
Well, you're a fool because I just bought Mike a pair for free. So, either way. My best friend Mike, I thought he did have a pair. And he does. He's got a pair. He's got a set. He's got he's got 2 kids, 2 shots, 2 kills. Great, he's killing it. But he didn't have a pair of AirPods because I found out because every time his son comes in the room, he hangs up the phone. And I go, why would he hang up the phone? He's like, I don't have AirPods. I was like, check your Amazon delivery.
He's got the AOL dial-up. He's got to hang up the phone when he.
Dude, I had to buy them for him that second. And so I know that you have them because you had them in the story, but honestly, I'd be honored to buy them for you if you beat me this week. So let's do that. Is that okay? We're up in the stakes. I'm drunk. I don't know what I'm doing. I might start Justin Herbert. Who knows?
I don't know if you did the math before you got drunk, but it's like dead on this double the bet.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Nimble with numbers. You are nimble with numbers, my friend.
I'm just a guy. I'm a guy.
So as for that head-to-head, you famously called me out from your hammock.
Oh, the hammock. Yes, I did.
Yeah. And of course you tagged me. I was at work, and of course I have the little bell clicked for whenever you tweet something, I get a bell going off. So it's always going off because you retweet content like a whore that you are.
Thank you.
And it's not a bad thing because every time you say something, I get to read it and determine whether it's bullshit or not. And the stuff I heard spewing from that hammock, that was some grade A steamers there.
Well, here's the thing. The truth of the matter is not that I'm better than you. I'll just say this right now.
You're just on a hot streak.
Between you and me and Mike and the rest of the world, I'm going to admit that there is a tier of expertise that separates you and I. I'm going to be honest. Maybe a 2 tiers. Maybe a 2 tier. And you put me on the back end of a 40-point whooping the first week. It was not good.
Yeah, that was all the attention was on. I mean, I stepped it up.
It was the lights and bright, and my shit was shite, and you fudged me up, and it was not.
I went out and said exactly what was going to happen.
You did.
So
that's what Well, my favorite though was the next week. Tell them what happened the next week when we went head to head behind the scenes. It was like $5 or $10.
It was like $5 or $10, and it was wild because we're both playing cash lineups that we're probably playing in 50-50s at the same time, and we ended up getting into like a shooting match where like Scott beats me like 211 to 191, and in a head to head. Like we both just like that was the same week that obviously you won 5K. So we were both on all of our plays that week. Week 2 was big for me too. It wasn't 5K big, but I won 400 or 500 that week, and it was we were both just laser sharp that week. And so our head to head was epic showdown.
Yeah,
it was like touchdown after touchdown.
Crazy.
And we didn't know who was going to win in the end because it wasn't like we didn't have any blank spots in our roster. No, it was beautiful.
It was Estevez brother after Emilio brother. and, I mean, it was just young guns ablazing. I loved it. It was my favorite matchup in any fantasy experience this whole year.
It was wild.
It was against the guy who just took, $50 from me the week before. It was, or $20, whatever it was. A week before it got me. It got me. So let me ask you, how many times have you bested me since then? Since week 1? How many times?
Maybe week 3, but other than that, you've swept me.
It's been a bad time for the Empire. But here's the thing. I don't think I'm better than you. I just think I've had a few better lineups than you.
Yeah, especially in that head-to-head, as I got a little cocky when I put up 200 and lost because I was like, damn, that was a good build. I could do this. And then I get riskier and riskier when I really don't need to. And here I am scoring 110, 120 against you, and that's just not going to cut it. No matter how bad I think you are, 120 isn't going to beat you most weeks.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. I went into a 50-50 double up $100 last week, and I got 161, and I didn't win.
I had 174 in a 50-50 and lost.
Yeah, it was a bad time for the Empire across the board. I'm just going to say this. I have learned more from you than I think you have learned from me. But I will also caveat that by saying I think I have enriched your life.
You have.
In a way that would also benefit you as well. So it's not one of those like vis-a-vis thing, because that's kind of like, I don't know, like morally corrupt. I think it's more of like one of those bridge building things where like, one strong tower grows and another strong tower grows. They're like, oh, hey, shit.
It's a symbiotic relationship. We build each other up.
Let me just say that you were on to DeAndre Swift that weekend. I listened to you. You were also on to, I'm sure, another player that to be named in the past that I picked from our discussion, from your post, from what you wrote on my website, whatever it was, that helped me make those leaps. And so, I just want to say, from me to you, win or lose, I appreciate you 100% brother. And this is the Drunk Scott love portion of drunk. I'm not an angry drunk, I'm not a mean drunk. I'm only mean when I'm sober, honestly.
It's a costume. You're wearing a costume right now.
No.
Scott has a costume.
No, Drunk Scott is himself. Like, that's the actual truth. Like, really, I'm a big, huggable, lovable guy. And then people, they hug me, and then they stab me. I'm just like, I'm gonna fucking murder you. Like, I'm not like.
I've seen your Target video. I believe it.
Yeah, like
that was sober Scott. He wasn't very nice.
Here's the thing about me, man. Like, I was friends with everybody, no matter who you were. Like, I would just be like, yeah, I'm your friend. And then if people were mean or not, hurt me, whatever it is, I mean, I'd just be like, oh shit. Like, I'm a real accepting kind of guy. Like, let's be honest. We became best friends through chat and then through texting. And then we hadn't even done a live interaction. And you were like, we're doing a show on Saturday nights called Fast.Hard.Finish. We're starting a podcast together. And we'd actually never really I
didn't even ask you. I just said, this is what we're doing.
And then what did I say?
You said, okay, I guess.
No, damn it. If I have to. No, I was just like, fucking A.
What took us so long?
Yeah. And so that's what's so cool if you open yourself up. And that's what Drunk Scott really is. He's open.
What I love about this show is it's our chance once a week to actually talk face to face and just shoot the shit. And it's on live.
Yeah.
So people can shoot the shit with us. Is there anybody commenting here?
No, there's no comments. That's okay. They're being entertained by just you and me, my man. I'll tell you this. This is what you're on to.
You like my costume? I mean, my costume's pretty legit.
What you look like is somebody who is probably high.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Probably high, but you're probably also educated, and you have gotten other people around you to, think about their own experience in this government system and to expand their horizon from A and B to possibly C. And I will tell you that what you see on my man Bo McBig Time's chest is also my vote. I mailed that bitch in like 3 weeks ago, to the point where I asked my wife, I said, hey, where's my ballot? I'm worried I didn't vote, because I keep seeing these things on Twitter like, you gotta get your vote in. Your vote.
Have you registered? Don't you realize that you can vote in the country if you don't register? And if you don't mail it in by tomorrow, you don't count.
You're dead. Well, I did see in Dade County, Florida, just a bunch of boxes in the mail that said, this is the post office. They're not processing it. These are all your votes. I'm like, God damn it. And in Texas, they're trying to disenfranchise curbside voting, which was instituted after the pandemic, because obviously you should, and so there's just so much evil shit. Anyway, if you want to get away from evil shit, I would vote third party, because here's what third party says. Third party says, I've surveyed the landscape. I'm not accepting either norm. And I think together we can collectively build a better experience than what is being offered in these two kind of radical, at times, experiences. This is me and you. This is me and you.
And where I come from, the people that you don't trust in your hometown, the people that are snaky, that you just can't, like, your mom nudges you and says, don't talk to that person. It's the fucking mayor. It's the city councilman. It's the most sleazy people are all the politicians. And so people ask me, okay, why are you voting for Joe Jorgensen? And I said, I don't want either of these clowns to win.
Yeah.
I don't want them to win. Why would I vote for somebody I don't want to win and become president or maintain their presidency? For me, it doesn't make a difference. I look at each side and I see the same thing. That's all. That's my reasoning. Is I'm a libertarian by nature, small L libertarian. That's how I see the world, is through the lens of a person who wants to be free. And I don't see freedom on either side. So here I am sitting there in the middle saying, hey, I don't care what you do as long as it doesn't impinge on my rights, and I won't do anything to impinge on yours. Kumbaya, motherfuckers.
Motherfucker! Well, here's what I think. I think any candidate that wants to bring about real prison reform, about real justice reform in the justice system, and then also legalize almost all drugs. Here's the thing you don't seem to understand, is that I understand America is excessive. I understand that. America,
it's kind of in our DNA.
Right. But once you start treating the overall issues of that, then you can isolate groups of people who need support, and you can help them get off of whatever the big bad times they're on. Because
We have blurred the line between crime and disease.
Yeah.
And that's the wrong thing to do. If it's like you have to have crime, and there's always going to be crime, and there's always going to be disease. They are not the same thing.
Yeah. So I gotta tell you, my guy Phil, the burn.
He's been loving it up on me on my Twitter recently.
I gotta tell you, he said he voted yesterday. Props to my guy Phil. I met
Good
Phil
call.
in CD Carter's tweet replies last year sometime. I love Phil. Phil's great. I was really hoping, actually, originally, that Phil would fill this role that you have right now. He's so good with his takes too. He won CD Carter's DFS league on FanDuel a bunch of times last year. Like every time I was in it, he won it. He was crushing it. And so
when he compliments me on Twitter, I should actually be really appreciative because
I know he's not at the time not trying to write, but he was the guy in mind when I put a job out there. My mind thought, this is the kind of guy that I want in this position. This is the kind of person who's smart. He knows his shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know, he is just, he's so sharp. And every take he had and every play he made last year was just incredible. And so I learned from him. And I was
That's what I'm trying to get, because I feel like I'm still a better writer than DFS player. Like I'm still trying to feel out the landscape and figure out little tricks, because I learn something every week.
Yeah.
And I guess that's kind of the key, is you don't just bounce mistakes off and lose money and then just keep playing like an idiot. You got to learn from your losses and learn from your wins. Like what worked? Yes. Why did it work?
Yep.
It's like, what keys did I play? What keys did I hone in on that were right? Which ones were wrong? You kind of have to take inventory each time, whether you win or lose. And I think that's making me a better player, because I'm listening to Roto Bond. I'm listening to the Dynasty Nerds sometimes, and like John Lobb. It's like, that guy is a genius. Like he just screams genius. I'm a genius. Listen to me. And it's like, that's the kind of person I want to feed off of. So yeah, if you catch me in the Sunday mornings, I'm going to listen to 2 podcasts. It's going to be Roto Bond with Pete Davidson, and it's going to be John Lobb. I mean, those 2 guys are just brilliant DFS players, and so I want to learn from them and write better articles in turn.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I got to tell you, there's a party going on at your house. You know, people are living it up. You know,
it's still not quite bedtime, so it's going to be a little loud.
Cheers to your house, my guy. What you got there? Your there you go.
It's Halloween. It's fallback. Everybody's living life.
I love it, man. We're a family here. You know, we love each other. That's how it works. I got to tell you, last year when I first started writing, my guy Pete Davidson, he jumped into. Bill, you're the hilarious. I got pause.
That's a great joke.
All right, I'm gonna screen grab that with
that is well timed. That is beautiful.
Yeah, listen, this is gonna be tweeted later, Phil, because you're the man. I love that.
The first thing the counselor taught me was how to victory lap injuries.
First thing the counselor taught me was to say "fuck you" to everybody in the fantasy football industry,
no matter who.
Not who. You know, and here's the thing that's crazy. He took an Evan Silva list last year, took Evan Silva's name off of it, and said, fuck this guy. I was like,
Evan Silva is the only guy who even remotely called the Leonard Fournette cut. Like, nobody else in the world thought that Leonard Fournette would get cut by the Jaguars except for Evan Silva.
Listen, if Evan Silva blocked me, I'd be fucking honored. I mean, God damn it, counselor. How dare you take Evan Silva's anything? Cover his name. Put his name out there if you're going to shit on him. God damn. Right. That's all I got to say to you, you motherfucker. Put that.
I'll shit on anybody, but I'm gonna call him out by name.
Hey, listen, hey, I know you have like 1 million more followers than I do on Instagram. I don't give a shit. Let me tell you, buddy, I'm way smarter and better than you. Everybody knows that you're a piece of
garbage.
And
simply put, our content is better.
And listen to me. I would go head to head in boxing, kickboxing, strangle, death to the face, bricks, whatever. Knives. You want to go, counselor? Oh, I'm your guy. Oh, I've been
Scott couldn't have him because I would rip him to shreds too fast. There wouldn't be any show to it.
Let me just say, man, I've been ready.
People want a show. They let Scott take on the counselor.
I'm gonna strangle you with my calves. My calves. My backpacking through Europe. Calves. They're gonna take you down, my man.
I'll be the one in the crowd, like cheering you on and betting and throwing firecrackers at your feet.
Oh man, one of my favorite teams and one of my favorite shows ever. Deadwood was when the town barkeep went out and fought against the rogue rich philanthropist came to pillage the town. His strongman came out, and in the fight, he gouged his eye out.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah, it was one of the best scenes in cinematic history. I'm not portending to anything. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying.
That's what he wants, though, isn't it? It's the attention.
Yeah, I'll give him some attention. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's challenging people in boxing matches. Dude. Oh, my God. Space Ghost Force. You're the man, brother. I love that guy. By the way, if you're not following him on Twitter, dude, he's like the most underfollowed person on Twitter, right? Like we can just say right now,
yeah,
he is like unofficially the most underfollowed.
But he's like an international man of mystery too.
Right.
Like,
oh my gosh,
there's definitely mystery to the guy.
Listen, I gotta tell you, on Halloween, you bring the ghost on your show. He came on the last week, a couple weeks ago. He said, "Hey, can I come on your show?" And I was like, "The next opening is week 8." He's like,
"So you're on the money shot with the ghost, and then you followed up with your hillbilly friend on Fast.Hard.Finish."
Hey, you know what? I gotta tell you, the ghost man. So, yeah.
I'm in a dynasty league with Ghost, and that's how we were introduced. Is in Polly Sleeper's dynasty league, and so it's a good time because we got teams that are already tanking, we got teams that are buying to try to win. I'm at the very top. I'm 4th in points, but best record, and so like Beezy and Polly and Term are like hot on my heels. They're trying to hit Ghost up for these buy low trades so that they can get and pass me up and beat me head to head. So it's been entertaining because all 4 of us at the top are just hitting Ghost up for all kinds of players.
See,
like,
I don't like
how much you want for him?
I hate that. I feel like you're like the hot chick at the bar and guys are touching your ass.
Exactly what it is.
So I've got a really great team that has hit injury in one of my leagues, and
the slam trade was terrible. You have to pull that one up.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. So go ahead. Yeah.
Who did he?
No. Leave it up. Just leave it up and finish your story.
So I have Michael Thomas, Chris Godwin, Kareem Hunt, Jonathan Taylor. I've got Henry Ruggs. I've got Dallas Goedert. I've got Darren Waller. You'd think, this team is just doing well. No. My team is 1-6. So
you're getting healthy.
Everybody, I'm getting healthy. Every week, somebody gives a swipe to me. They're just like, "Hey, pretty girl, you want to go suck a dick in the bathroom?" I'm like, "Who you got?" They're like, "I got Gardner Minshew and Marvin Jones." I'm like, "No."
They're like, "Yeah, no."
I'm sorry, Marvin Hall. That's Marvin Hall. That's a hard pass, man.
Marvin Amendola. What do you mean?
I've got James Agnew. That's not a real player.
Mike Thomas, not Michael Thomas. Mike Thomas.
Mike Thomas. Yeah.
You're fucked.
Bradley Chubb. That's not a guy.
He's a defensive player.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. How'd you get a defensive end? It's not an ADP.
Are we? Yeah. No. So I have to say, I love the Space Ghost Force. After our podcast, between you and me podcasting, we just talked on the phone as he was driving across state lines to place his bets.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I live in Maryland. They don't let us bet.
That's a true degenerate.
That's my guy. Like, I love him. And I'm going to do the same thing, too. We go to West Virginia or D.C. to place bets. But on November 4th or 3rd, whatever it is, we get to vote in Maryland for question number 2. If you live in Maryland, listen to this, vote yes on question 2.
There's literally no reason not to.
What in the world? And then once I think I need to buy some DraftKings stock before the elections so that when a bunch of these states pass these referendums that it doesn't spike on me. I get the all right. I got to talk to my broker about that. That's, between you and me.
So we got the trade just went down today in Poly Sleeper 5.0 Dynasty League, and it was terrible. We have Poly Sleepers making the deal with Space Ghost Force, and it was a fucking doozy because we all had offers out, and he comes up with this one.
Okay.
He gives away Brandon Ayuk this week to Poly, who's in second place, and he only gets in return Darius Slayton and a 2022 third.
Wait. The world's going to be over by 2021.
Right?
It's like lighting money on fire. What are you doing? That's ridiculous.
So when 2022 comes around and he's looking for his 3rd round pick, he's going to be like, that's right. I got Brandon Ayuk for that stupid thing.
Oh, I forgot I traded that guy away.
Along with Darius Slayton, who's a great wide receiver, but he's with a young and very terrible quarterback.
Yeah. Well, listen, I don't want to
who knows? Yeah.
I want to the whole show. Slayton is 23. Facebook says
Ayuk is 21. And on a better team and in a better situation at the present moment. So, yeah, plenty of time. We don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It might end up being good for you, but you're helping Paulie out too much. And as the guy right ahead of him in the standings, I don't appreciate it.
Listen, I got to tell you, I'm all in on the SGF. I mean, for me, I feel kindred to him after that podcast. We actually put you up against. I need to listen to the pod, because you're a great man. We put you up against the Discord chat, and so really, this week it is me and you, as a kind of co-hybrid model of thinking, up against my guy SGF and the whole Discord that he's been interacting with. So I feel good if we beat the hive mind. It's a little bit more of an accomplishment this week. I want to give you a little bit more credit too, because for me, I'm not a self-centered, egotistical, think I'm something.
Says the guy with 5,000 Twitter followers.
You know what? I didn't want to bring that up, but I will. And I'm
bringing it up.
I'll direct you to the video I made today that thanks every single person for making it happen. Here's the thing about it. Last year, you would have said, hey, Scott, I'm going to fast forward a year from now. You're going to have 5,000 followers on Twitter. I would go, shut your fucking mouth. You're talking crazy. Like, what do you like? I just follow a bunch of guys. Like, I just follow fancy football guys like Evan Silva and Denny Carter. And, I just, Fancy Stoner and Paulie Sleeper. I follow these guys. That's all I do. I'm a follower. I'm not a fancy guy. I would not have believed it. And, and unique circumstances have happened with my fantasy experience, with kind of getting hit rock bottom and started writing and started playing fantasy a lot deeper and DFSing. And then I got my job for the XFL writing for them. And that was great. Love that while it lasted. But, that happened when my daughter had cancer too. And that came out and, crazy year. And I never would have thought it to be. But
I think you added like 2,000 after your Dude War shoot.
Oh, no. So I'll tell you.
Did you lose 2,000 or gain 2,000 from the Dude War shoot?
I lost some of my ladies. I gained some of my guys.
You would think that would be the opposite with how sexy you looked in that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It takes so much courage.
Well, here's the thing about me. I grew up a fat, made fun of, not cool kid because I was genuine, honest myself, just loving. I just who I was. I didn't realize that's not what you're supposed to be. I didn't realize you're supposed to hide your true self and be a dick and be mean to people. And then that's how you're really supposed to be as a person. So I just went through life like loving people and being genuine. And that got just like fucked all over in middle school and high school. And so I didn't reinvent myself, but I'd been shit on so many times that I realized that if you let it bother you, then it was like low hanging fruit, you know? And so at one point, I was at an Orioles game, and me and my guys were hanging out, probably 22, 21, whatever, 20. We're hanging out, just having a good time. And some Yankees fans were heckling us. And it was at the Oriole Park, Camden Yards, during a time when the Orioles and Yankees were both good. And the game was pretty good. And the Yankees guys were giving me the business, or whoever it was. And they're like, yeah, you're fat. And the guy was like, high five.
I can't believe you said that.
Oh, and I was like, listen, guys, and I got a tiny dick too. What are you gonna do? Nothing about you. I don't give a shit. Your crew is through. I started like rapping at them, and they were just like,
What are we supposed to do with that?
They turned around, and all my boys were like, oh! And it's like a totally weird moment because like it's like one group of white people rapping at and yelling at another group of like douchey white people, and so. But I just don't care anymore. And I realized at that point that my true self doesn't give a shit what you think about me, because I know what I think about me. And what I think about me is that I love me and I accept me. And it's taken a long time to accept myself after, years of being in a Christian church that told you that you're a piece of shit and that God barely loved you enough to die for you. And you were like, wait, he died for you, but he fucking hates your guts? That's a terrible. What are you talking about? If he died for you, you think that guy would love you fucking forever? And they'd be like, well, he does, but we're not going to.
You should be ashamed of yourself for thinking inward.
Listen, have you ever masturbated? Let me tell you, we're going to talk about that every day when we meet together as men. How many times you've masturbated? What the fuck is wrong with you people? Honestly, here's what's most important in life. I'll give you the brass tacks, big picture. Loving other people that are in your life that you have an opportunity to care for, interact with, and use the gifts that you've been given as a person in this short time you have to better them and yourself. And if it involves your labor, your skills, whatever it is, and you have those abilities, amazing, great job, awesome. You're not better than anybody else, though. It's not like a tally chart of your worth. If you have a skill and you can use it to better people, that makes me really excited because it makes everybody else better. We're all
and at the same time, there is a tally system, and it's called DraftKings head-to-heads.
Oh, well, we're not talking just between you and me. Well, if that tally chart would be brought up monetarily speaking, I'm in the black right now because I think week 6, 5, 4, 7. We're in my favor. I got to tell you, there's another guy I've been interacting with. His name is Taylor. I'm not going to put his last name out there because he'd be embarrassed because I've been whooping him. He's been sending me these $10 head-to-heads, and this week he sent me a $1 head-to-head.
That's a beaten foe. He has been defeated.
I really think, as a joke, I might just randomize my lineup totally and not even
So here's the deal, Taylor, listen to me. Read my articles on Scott's website, nimblewnumbers.com.
You should
read my articles, and it will give you the keys to play Scott and defeat him. And then you can up the ante and make this poor sap here with a beard go bankrupt and drop his asking price for head-to-heads. That's what you want to do, is break him down. Turn it around on him. Just like my article title this week was FOMO Dog. Don't be the FOMO dog. Make other people the FOMO dogs. You want them to fear out missing out on the plays that you have. When you're watching the games on Sunday, you want your touchdowns to be the ones you want your guys to be the ones that scored touchdown after touchdown.
I'm gonna 100% agree with that. I can't, as a DFS man of mystery, disagree with anything that you've said. And the FOMO dog article, I got to tell you, I really, really liked it from start to finish because it's personalized, it's humanizing, and I think I like when you shared the pictures of your dogs as well.
Yeah,
I threw those out there. To me,
I know what people are here for.
Yeah,
there's not a person alive that doesn't look at a couple of cute dogs and think, oh, what a pile of shit. No, everybody loves dogs. Even if they're not a dog person, they see cute dogs in a picture and they're really like, oh, look at those dogs. They're adorable.
I feel like it's also that lie that we all believe when you look at people's kids and you're like, oh my God, their kids are great. And behind the scenes, you're like, I might murder one of you tonight.
Yeah. They're
So upset. That's what dogs are too. You're like, smile. They're like, you're
yeah,
like,
I mean, beginning of the show, my dog was barking like crazy and attacking people, and she's in a shark costume, by the way, which is very fitting.
hilarious. You know, and you know, peel back the curtain over here at the Simpson household. We're trying to get a dog for London for Christmas or for around that time. As we need her immune system to get better so she can enjoy it. Salute, by the way. But you know, it's been a thought process of you can't leave anything on the fucking floor. Like there's nothing
Ever.
And I know this because I grew up with golden retrievers from the time I was born until the time I left my parents' house at the ripe old age of 68. You know, yeah. I mean, whatever. No, it was 26, and I'm not embarrassed by that because I'm a virgin still. Yeah. Anyway, I digress. I do. And long story short, I love dogs. I love all kinds of dogs, and
yeah, for me, this was telling a story and tying it back to our feelings, our emotions on Sundays. Like when we build the lineups, the lock happens at 1 Eastern, and it's all suspense from there. It's all watching the Red Zone channel, or watching the game that's on locally, and watching touchdowns happen. And when it's not your guys, it's a very helpless feeling. Like, oh my God, how did I miss that guy?
Oh man, it feels terrible when you see somebody score that's not your guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you get the vulture touchdowns that don't help anybody, but watching somebody else's player, as in a player go off that you had no idea was going to go off, is the worst feeling in DFS.
It is. And I'm going to bring it full circle. I'm just going to tell you, you know what, my dog that I trained when I was 12, and he lived until I was 24, so 12 years, was Dusty.
Yeah.
He was a golden retriever and purebred, and then we had several litters with him and a couple other female dogs. And then, you know, my wife's name is Rose. I call her Rosie all the time. And so, you know, there's no intentional overlap. It's just you sharing your experience, but another kind of 6 degrees of separation, or Kevin.
We have very, very few degrees of separation.
Yeah, like 1-to-1 correlation, weirdness. But it's so cool because when I'm reading this, I'm also experiencing.
It sends you back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a picture of me when I was in high school, and we had 2 litters at the same time, and there's 25 dogs, and they're golden, and they're attacking me in a pen, playing with me, and they're overwhelming me as a horde. That's one of my favorite memories as a person.
Oh yeah.
If you've never had 25 golden retriever puppies attack you and play, and like you know, they're probably 8 weeks old, about to be sold,
licking your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they might be, even some of the boys are peeing on you because they're so excited that they're just being around.
You don't care as a kid.
I don't care. You're just, I mean, I was a teenager. I was just like, oh my God, this is one of my favorite days as a human.
Yeah, my daughter is the most animal centric person I know. Like I grew up around animals, like all kinds of different farm animals. I grew up on a ranch, so like we had every type of animal we had at one point. But it's like she just has that primal connection between, like, in the animal kingdom. She can walk up to any animal that doesn't even know her from anybody else, and they're immediately calm. They immediately like do exactly what she says, and it's insane. And like, I have a picture of her. We took her to one of our friends' house that she breeds the Sphinx cats, the hairless cats, and they had a litter of 7 or 8 kittens. And so there's 7 or 8 naked little hairless kittens running around, and it's that same picture where she's laying on the floor and she's just covered in kittens, and they're just loving on her. And like the joy, oh my God, it's just pure, unfiltered joy. And you're like, that's the feeling.
I feel like heaven is going to be most of the times you smothered in the animal of your choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like,
I would say so.
Yeah, I mean, anyway, here's what I'm smothering you guys in, and I'm not trying to be like a dick or anything, but I just want to show you what progress looks like. I want to show you what one of the best writers in the DFS industry looks like right now, who's unheralded. And I'm gonna pump this chain. You look at this; it's called week by week. It goes kind of I'm just showing you what it looks like. This is the October 6th through 11th or 12th weekend. That's okay. It looks good. Little bumps and thing. Next weekend, a little bit better. And the last weekend, that looks pretty good. This weekend, oh my goodness, my guy. I mean, I just, if you want to actually go by weeks, which that's a filter they have on here. Houston, we have a problem. We might actually zen it tomorrow over a G, and yeah, just a little bit, maybe a bit. And so, I just wanted to acclaim, because that's what we're in the business of, my guy Bo McBigtime, because if you don't fuck with him, you don't fuck with me. My guy D Brown on Twitter today said, if you don't follow Scott Simpson, fuck you.
That's strong. That's strong.
I've ever heard. I retweeted it. I said, I love that shit. I'm gonna double down. If you don't follow Bo McBigtime, fuck you and your family and your family's family.
Wow.
And your families, because you're missing out on money that could benefit your families. And
plus, I post pictures of my dogs quite regularly.
Yeah.
Food, lots of food posts. I do some private chef work.
Listen,
so I post lots of food and my hot sauce. I mean, you should always keep in mind that if you haven't tried Hotbox small batch gourmet hot sauce, I mean, you're really just missing out on a whole different gear of flavor and spice. So
yeah,
take it for what it is. It's a hot sauce, but
no.
Rosie likes it. Rosie's
you shut your fucking mouth. You said it's
It's the hot sauce.
The hot sauce. And we're gonna apply a little bit of this hot sauce. I got a little bit of a Triscuity here thing, and I'm just gonna give some liberal doses.
So disclaimer: Scott uses Hotbox on everything. I think just short of he doesn't use it as lubrication, but that's all. That's the only thing he doesn't. He greases the hinges with it. He mops the floor with it. He does everything with Hotbox except for the lubrication. It's a tingly sensation. It's not cool.
It leaves you salivating. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Every single time. So question, my man. I know we're only 50 minutes in. We're not done. I do have to run to the commode. You want to kill some time? You want to put some music on? What do you want me to do?
I can talk. Go do your thing, man.
All right, my guy. Let me give you a topic. Whatever you fucking want.
Wow, that narrows it down.
Well, I think you're suited for it. So,
Scott, man, that is the dude. Let's talk about Scott. At Nimble W Numbers, stand-up guy, respectful guy, very protective of his people, and he's just nice. He's always complimentary. He's always retweeting everything you post, no matter how shitty it is. It's like if I read something, I'm not going to retweet it if it's shitty. Like even the groups I'm in, I like retweeting stuff, but I read it first. I want to make sure that it's quality. Most of it is, but that's Twitter for you. It's a lot of push, lots of push from everybody. Always trying to get their name out there. Not a lot of pull. Not a lot of ingestion. So if you're out there and you're in a retweet group, read it before you retweet it. Get inside it, because people are pushing it so it can be pulled in, and that's where the work comes in. Is you want people to actually consume what you're producing. That's my take on that. Twitter's a great place, great community, great at meeting people. Like I still haven't met Scott in person. At 3,000 miles away. The days of COVID have prevented it. But I mean, it's going to be a party when we do eventually meet up. But man, once a week on Fast.Hard.Finish, it's a good time because we can shoot the shit. And if you want to tune in and listen to the bullshit we're spewing, more power to you. Love it. Apparently, Gervonta Davis knocked out Leo Santa Cruz in a boxing match tonight. It's a crazy uppercut. I just retweeted that. That's an incredible punch. If you like impact, sweat flying off a guy's face, out like a light. Another thing is my Pecan Takes article that just posted today on podcasticnetwork.com. It's also posted and tweeted out. It's just me basically breaking down 4 to 5 really, really hot takes for this the Sunday's games or even Monday's games, where I predict what could happen.
Well, listen.
Scott, we were just talking about Pecan Takes. I know you got it. You're catching up.
I heard everything you said, and here's what I want to say about everything you said. Everybody here has made me who I am in this experience, and so no one more so than you, my friend. And I appreciate the fact that we get to do this, and the fact that we get to be friends in the process of it. Because if you don't love what you do and love the people you do it with, oh, what's up, Shark Bite?
She is the epitome of a shark.
Oh, I love it. If you don't love what you do and love the people you do it with, then you're doing it wrong. And so, I appreciate you pubbing me and what I've done, man. Honestly, I'm just so grateful that I got to know you. Like at the end of the day, likes and views aside, it's a very beneficial experience for me, and I'm better off than I was before. And I've been looking for a good friend to fantasy football with and to keep up with me, honestly, because I'm not smart, but I'm just running. And so you're running a different race, and I can go, oh shit, I can run with you, and you can tell me what I need to do, and then we can figure out this voodoo that you do when you do the shit that you do with me, and that's how it goes. So cheers to you, my friend. Love you, brother.
Did you read Pecan Takes yet?
No, and here's what I wanted to do. As I run to get my beer, I wanted you to count down your top 5. I wanted you to share.
Like 4 of them.
I want to share. I want you to share with them. Let me get my beer real quick. It's in the freezer. And I might have to run up to the fridge and get some more. My wife said that I'm not sleeping. By the way, we get an extra hour of drinking tonight. My wife said last night, she said, you can drink till you puke, just don't puke down upstairs in my bathroom. And I said,
rules is rules.
I drank 2 beers last night, so tonight I've only had 9. And so we're good.
You're so good. You got another 9 in the tank.
Let me go get them. Hold on. I'm right. I'm gonna come back. I'm coming back. How long it takes?
All right. So, rolling back the Pecan Takes this week, we have my first one. It's controversial because I'm expecting a AFC North trench war. And so the over-under of the Steelers and Ravens is 46.5. I am saying that game will combine for less than 35 points. I'm picturing 19-16, 16-14, bloodbath, trench war, back and forth, defensive field position battle. Special teams is going to be the deciding factor in that game. Under 35 is the call there. Then I picked the Packers to beat the Vikings by 17 or more points. I'm predicting the Vikings defense is bad, especially their secondary. And with no Aaron Jones, they're going to be passing the ball more. Simply put, Jamal Williams is not a very good running back. He's a good receiver out of the backfield because he can catch. He doesn't shake anybody. He's going to get as many yards as you let it run forward for. And Aaron Rodgers is going to air it out. He's got, I think he's got Lazard back. If he doesn't, he still has Tunyon. He still has Devontae freaking Adams, who nobody can cover. Nobody.
Who's that guy?
Nobody can cover him. And especially the Vikings, even if they bracket him, they're going to lose him because they can't communicate. That's been their problem all year. So I see the Packers getting out to an early lead and taking Dalvin Cook out of the game. It's like they're going to want to ease him back anyway with the groin. You're still going to see some Madison, a little bit more mixed in your normal 75-25 mix with Dalvin Cook healthy. So I don't see Dalvin Cook being a factor this week. I'm fading Dalvin Cook this week, even though he's back and supposedly healthy. It's just not a good game script that I'm predicting. I'm predicting a complete demolition where Cousins trying to come back against one of the best secondaries in the league is just going to end badly.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's in Lambeau too, and it's not warm there.
no.
And so, Kirk does his best work. Crazy stat. 1,000,000 out of 1,000,000 times, he does better work not at Lambeau in the cold. He does better in the dome. He does better in Washington in the warm.
He does better against bad teams.
Yeah.
And the Packers are not a bad team.
No, I'm not
17 or more points is the margin I'm predicting. So definitely spicy because you can definitely see the Packers beating the Vikings because they're favored. But 17 in the NFL is a pretty big margin. Even the Jets were given 19 points against the Chiefs this week.
Yeah. All I gotta say is my hair is better than Kirk Cousins' performance this week. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, well, that's not a very high bar to cross there.
Hey, you know what? You've got the longest hair in the business today. Don't you throw shade at me. I'm just jelly. Listen, I love Denny Carter, but shout out Denny Carter. You wish your hair could do this on a whim, brother. You wish you could. I got Zach Moore's hair. I'm 41. How old are you? Like 27? I don't know. I'm like 41.
Smart guy, though. Smart guy.
The smartest. And honestly, his hair is good. It's good to quite good. I just wanted to let him know he's not the only game in town. Him and Younghoe Koo. Danny, Younghoe Koo. The other day, he took a picture of Younghoe Koo, put him out there, and just said, look at this hair. Look at his hair. And I said, Denny, I feel like it's a backdoor sideways attempt to draw attention to your own hair. So here's a picture.
It was more overt than that.
Right, of course. And so the subtlety is in the joke, right?
Yes.
And so here's a picture of you, and his hair looked outstanding. Outstanding. Your face looked like this. and so he said, he goes, I look outstanding and not creepy in any way, whatever it was. So I just love the nuance. I told my wife that story, and she goes, "You guys
who's going to be the first to Photoshop a dick into his mouth in that picture?"
Darcy.
Out of respect for Denny, I would not do that. But
somebody who could.
Somebody could, and somebody will. Once a month, Denny sends a picture of me out that could have a dick Photoshop my face. I'm looking like this. I tweeted it out. It was me, and he reminds me that I've tweeted it out every month randomly. I tweet something out, and then Denny responds to it with that. But all jokes aside, I love that man. Not as much as you though, because the cool thing about me and you, we haven't met, but we will. If not in this Valhalla, the next for sure.
So, do you want the next two picantes?
I want to hear them 100%.
So, number 3, Melvin Gordon and Le'Veon Bell will both score 15 or more PPR points. Is that not spicy?
Well, I think the
yes, they're both in timeshares.
Yes. What's the status of Lindsey right now? Is his concussion keeping?
Lindsey is active.
He's active. Okay. Well, yes.
It adds spice to this whole thing.
That adds spice. That adds a little spice.
Yeah. So I see it as, you're getting double true revenge games, not just facing your former team. That doesn't count as a revenge game.
Oh.
These two teams that they're going up against spurned them.
Yeah.
Melvin Gordon didn't get his contract extension with San Diego at the time. So he was upset. He went to Denver. He got paid pretty good to go to Denver, probably more than he deserved because he's not that good.
He's not.
But for 1 week, and San Diego or LA Chargers just got absolutely shredded by James Robinson 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. 37 points.
Yeah. Tore them apart. And that's the Jaguars. We're talking about the Jaguars here. I'm not saying Denver's any better than the Jaguars. They're probably about the same kind of team with Drew Lock. Drew Lock's not as good as Minshew, I don't think. But James Robinson's undrafted rookie. Came out of nowhere. And you're saying that Melvin Gordon, top guy out of Wisconsin, and he's a 1,000-yard rusher already multiple times.
Yeah.
You can't say that guy is not going to be hungry to blow up on the Chargers for one time. And Le'Veon Bell against the Jets, that's just game script. I don't think they give CEH much run in the second half if they got that predicted big lead on the Jets.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 20-point lead. What are you going to do? You know?
You're going to run Le'Veon Bell down their throat.
Oh, yeah.
And that's we know the Jets can't stop anybody. And they're not going to stop a guy who's running angry.
No.
So I predict both guys over 15 PPR points. And so I can't take credit for the win on the pecan take if I don't get it 100%.
Okay.
Like I got really close twice last week, and I nailed one the week before.
Well, you crushed one the week before. Don't be
Yeah, I literally scripted that game. It was crazy.
What's cool is that in that game, Atlanta did everything you said they were going to do. Like every single thing.
And I predicted everything the Vikings did too, where they were handing it off to Madison, and by golly, he's just not as good as Dalvin Cook. Huh. Who would have thunk it?
Bo.
Like, Bo thunk it. Bo said fade Madison. Everybody's like, play Madison.
Well, I won $100 because we played Justin Jefferson instead.
Uh-huh.
Cheers, my man. I'm getting my meeting.
And then my final one is ultra controversial because it's a weather game. Ooh. The Raiders and the Browns will combine for 1,000 total yards and 70 points.
Holy moly.
Yeah, we're talking shootout city. In the rain, in the wind, all the shit going down is those defenses still can't stop anybody. Through the air, on the ground, neither team is going to stop them. We're going to see big play after big play in the running game, in the play action pass. It doesn't have to be a deep bomb. The wind will blow that around, but you get a deep crosser and a bullet pass. The wind is not going to affect that. All it's going to affect is it's wet, change of direction for a defender who doesn't know where the receiver's going, miscommunication, big plays up and down the field.
I like it. I like your pecan takes. They're hot as shit.
Yeah, 500 yards apiece. Both teams are going over 500 total yards, and it's going to be like 38-35. I don't know who's going to win. Probably the team with the better kicker.
At the end, whoever's got the ball, maybe one of those games.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, I've been eating a bunch of your hot sauce right now. It's hot as shit. I love it.
You finally got the new batch, which I'm very happy to see.
Woo.
Yeah, new chili supplier.
It's hot.
It took you a while to get to this batch because you had so many bottles built up from the previous one.
It's hard.
The new batch has been out a couple months now.
I ordered like 18 bottles last time.
I know. You went through pretty good, but yeah, this new batch, I think it'll take you a little longer because it doesn't quite go. It goes a lot farther because it is hotter.
Ooh.
The chilies I sourced are a lot higher quality. They're very dense with the capsaicin.
I can't get enough. I just can't get enough. I'm just 100% me right now, and just
Yes, you are.
That's who I am.
My costume is my inner self personified outward. I'm a freedom-loving American.
And my costume is just never me. Never me. Not once. That's part of me.
Are we going to build a lineup real quick to wrap this up? You want to do a $3?
Yeah, let me pull that up real quick and get my wits about me.
Mr. Balance over there can run it.
The hot sauce is making me sweat. Making me bleed.
Now, in all seriousness, don't use it as lube. That will be extremely painful. Just like if I don't wash my hands like 4 times after I make it, and you go to scratch your thigh, and it's going to be fire down below.
That's not good. Do you use rubber gloves and stuff?
For certain parts, yeah. Yeah, you just can't, like, if I'm just chopping them up and prepping everything, I'm not wearing the gloves. But when I'm pouring them into the bottles, where the sauce is already processed and it's practically airborne, and you're dripping little droplets everywhere. Yeah, I got the gloves on because you don't want it under your nails. You get it under your nails, it's not coming out for days.
Oh man. Whew.
Yeah, go and rub your eye. Bad idea. I've done it though. The last batch that I sent to you, I injured myself. I squirted lime juice directly in my eye.
Oh man.
Like direct hit from as far away as my arm length is. I even have a citrus squeeze juicer, like a little lever thing. It's inside of that. It goes through the gap straight into my eyeball. Yeah, that was painful.
Was it infused with the heat of your sauce?
No, it was just straight lime juice, but it was fresh lime juice off the tree next door, and it was very acidic.
All right, let's do this, my man. Let's rock this boat out.
Love it. Fall back night is the best.
I know. It's not even, it's like early. After the show, I'm going to call you and talk to you on the phone.
Sounds good.
That's what I'm going to do. So.
I might have to put you on speaker, though, because I don't have any AirPods.
Well, they might be coming soon.
That'd be good. We'll see what we got.
Let's get this on here. All right. $3?
$3.
All right. So we are working with a variance that needs to maximize upside.
Big time.
Big time.
And I'm not worried about ownership this week.
No.
Don't even mention ownership this week. It does not matter.
So let's talk about where you want to start. What position group is the best to kind of go at it?
I like to start with 2 running backs and a flex.
Let's do this then. Who do you like in this group?
I like I love Kareem Hunt, but I'm not I love Kareem Hunt, but that price is, I mean, 69 is pretty high. So if I'm going to spend up at running back, I'm going to really spend up. And I'm going Derrick Henry.
Ooh, I like that. That's a nice price.
$8,000 price. And if you noticed, Cincinnati hasn't been better at yards per carry defense against running backs, but they've been in the games more lately. And so everybody's not just killing the run game with them. They've been more in shootouts lately. So their run defense on DraftKings is middle of the road now by numbers of points allowed. But if you look at their yards per carry, it's still 32nd in the league.
Yikes!
So we're looking at 8,000 and still plenty of value there for a guy who might not be highly owned if the price is too high. People can't fit him in unless you prioritize them like we are.
I like that. Let me ask you a question.
Yep.
For your second running back, do you like to spend up, or are you in the mid-range area for your second guy?
It really depends. I'm kind of picturing a game stack where I'm going to base my defense running back stack on my RB2. It's kind of a strategy that I've been employing lately where if I'm spending up a running back, I don't care about stacking with his defense unless it's like plus.
Yeah.
And I'm not a huge fan of Tennessee's defense this week because I do see a shootout potential in that game because neither defense is that good and both offenses are clicking pretty well. Like even Tannehill put up some good numbers against the Steelers, which that's a tough defense. The Bengals defense isn't that tough. So Tennessee's going to get out there to a lead, and I think Cincinnati can come back on them and keep firing blow for blow.
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to play Tennessee's defense this week because I think they might not score very many points.
Well, and speaking of that vein, we're free balling here because that's how we do. What do you think about Darrell Henderson this week going up against Miami and LA and their defense going up against Tua Tagovailoa as a rookie starter in the NFL? What do you think about that matchup?
I love the player. I don't trust the coach
Oh,
because you don't know when it's going to be Cam Akers' week. You don't know if it's going to be Malcolm Brown's week. And Malcolm Brown's terrible.
completely terrible.
Darrell Henderson is the best back right now. Akers will be the best back once his ribs are fully healed. I think they're kind of babying him along because, I mean, you have sore ribs and you're going to get hit on every play. You're not going to get a lot of work until you're fully healthy.
Of course.
So Henderson's the guy right now, but I'm not sure for how long, and I'm not sure if we can trust any kind of floor from him in any game because it's that same Patriots vibe that I get from the Rams. Is you don't know which running back's going to get the work from week to week. So I'm not keen on spending over $6,000 on a guy or close to $6,000 on a guy that he might not get more than 10 carries. And it's an okay matchup. The Dolphins are better than people think.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about dropping down a little bit to Melvin Gordon?
I like it. I also like Gio in that range. We got one more week of Gio. But since we have Henry there, I'd rather have Gordon because it's off that double running back script, which you don't really want in a tournament because you're capping yourself.
Is there anybody that you would want to drop down in these lower ranges to kind of maximize kind of breakout potential that maybe is going overlooked?
Zach Moss is a good call. I've been putting a lot of him in there at 4,400, I think.
Yeah, 4,400.
Moss I like because he's taking over for Singletary right before our very eyes. Like, I mean, the guy had turf toe, which is a really tough thing to get over for a running back because that's your whole change of direction ability. If you can't plant off your big toe because it's got sprained ligaments, you're not going to be a good running back.
Yeah.
And so they took longer to heal him up completely, brought him back, and he's looked way better than Singletary. And when he was gone, Singletary never really seized that job.
No, he did not.
So I love Zach Moss this week. I like Dobbins this week because of the situation with one man down, but I still don't try. That's the same principle. Patriots, Rams, Ravens, you just don't know who's going to get the work. Same with San Francisco. You can't trust their backfield. And I know it's a tournament and you want to take some shots, but you have to take smart shots.
So what do you think is the smartest shot in this place?
I would say either Gordon or Gaskin.
Yeah, I was wondering about Gaskin. He's just so underpriced. I mean, he's so underpriced.
He is the bell cow. And if the Rams can be exploited, it's on the ground. And even if the Rams get out to a lead, Gaskin's the receiving back too.
Yeah, I think he's somebody who the game script keeps him involved. I think he's a great play at 5,200. I like it a lot. Let's pivot to wide receiver.
And this is the key of this week is I want to get 2 big dog wide receivers in there.
I'm 100% with you. What do you think about Keenan Allen this week?
Love it. Way underpriced. He might be chalky, but I don't fucking care.
What do you think about Devontae Adams this week?
He has to be in your lineup.
There we go. Okay, so
that was easy, right?
6 seconds, right? And I mean, listen, my penis is still erect; it's not going down.
You can only get so erect.
Well, I mean, and so here's the question: are we going to pair one of these friends with a QB? Or are we going to go naked? Because that's going to get me, from medium chub to full chub.
It's risky for sure to go naked. I mean, you're kind of tilting the whole narrative on a normal tournament build because, I mean, half of tournament winners are double stacked. You have to. Right. I think you have to have some kind of stack, even if it's not a quarterback, receiver, or runner stack. We might even pair Tua Tagovailoa with Gaskin. That might be something that puts us way different and able to spend up at your receiver and flex.
Well, what do you think about putting Joe Burrow and then coming back with Tyler Boyd? What do you think about that? Or would you want to instead of Tyler Boyd, maybe go a little T Higgins, because you're going to change the price point, down a whole $1,000. You could do that as well. What? And we're in a tournament, so what do you think? I love Joe Burrow as a comeback to the Derrick Henry play, and as a guy who's getting top 5 dropbacks in the NFL as a rookie.
And he's going to throw it 50 times again this week.
Yeah, they're going to be losing. What do you think? Boyd, Higgins, AJ Green is a crazy shot in the dark. What do you think here?
How much is Green?
Just Green. Holy shit, really?
How much is he?
Oh, so get rid of Burrow too, or just
no? I want to see who I would rather pair with Burrow.
4,500. I mean,
and T is 56.
That's you're getting.
And Boyd is 59.
1,100. Yeah.
So I would go Green.
Yeah. Listen.
He's averaging 10 targets a week since he got healthy. Really.
Yeah, we're playing.
Or since he threw a temper tantrum and wanted to be traded.
Well, let's actually look at the team stacks, and this is what's cool is on my tool. You can go and you can look at the teams, and then you can go compare them. So here's Cincinnati. You can see the receivers are priced, 6,600, 5,600, and 45. And last week it was 30, 18, 15. If you add all those up, that's like a bazillion team, And so anyway, it's actually about 65. But anyway, I mean that's what you want. You want a lot of receptions. If you look at the week before, it was 17, 15. That's good. That's good. That's good to quite good. That's a game script of losing, and that's the cheapest price of those. In this kind of tournament, I really love that, and it saves us money. And I just want to do something real quick because, defenses don't mean a lot. I just want to be really clear with you guys.
Yeah. Unless you get the one that happens to get a touchdown of some kind.
Well, I'm going to pair the Dolphins with Gaskin. I'm doing a callback to what you said. Yeah, I was playing them already and some other different options. That leaves us with a whopping, 8,700 to break up tight end and flex. Do we want to go low volume tight end, high opportunity flex? Do we want to kind of mitigate, go double? How do you want to play this in the tight end business? We got a lot of options.
For what we're looking at, I'm either going to spend 4,100 on Jonnu Smith, or I'm going to spend 3,200 on Harrison Bryant. I don't care how chalky either one of them are. They're the two best values on the board for tight end this week.
Yes.
And since we're going Studley at wide receiver, getting ourselves a better flex at 55. There's some good guys in that range.
What do you think of Deontay Johnson or DeAndre Swift?
Swift is facing Indy. Not a big fan of that.
Where's the game script though that they're behind, they're losing, they have to throw the ball to their RB? Is that going to happen at all? Do you see that being?
It might, but Indy's just covering everything through the air. They're not giving hardly any passing yards ever. And so, I mean, I don't see Indy really throwing the ball that much on their end either. I think it's going to be that run game. So a very fast-moving clock in that game. I'm not a huge fan of either passing attack in that game. I'm fading both tight ends. Hawkinson I'm fading because, Indy is super good against the tight end, like really good. Like these are the top two teams at defending the tight end in the whole league, and they're facing each other.
Yeah, that's a hard script. What do you think about Deontay Johnson?
I love him because people are going to doubt what he can do against Baltimore.
Yeah.
If there's one thing I know about Big Ben is he's going to lock in on somebody. And last week it was on him and Juju. Yeah. And Deontay sprained his ankle, a mild sprain at the end of that game. And it looked like, oh, here we go again. Deontay's hurt again. But he got, 15, 16 targets last week? If he's on the field, they're going to throw it to him. And he's usually that short route guy that's good after the catch. Yeah. So even if he gets 10 catches for 65 yards because Baltimore's really good at wrapping up and getting and rallying to the ball, that he might sneak into the end zone and get 20 points.
Yeah.
And he's still underpriced.
What I like about this is you're setting up the bottom half of our lineup between AJ Green and Deontay Johnson as like, 4 maxers with a few different plays. I mean, you get AJ Green in the seam for a 30-yard touchdown. He's maxed out. He's already at 16 points. Same thing with Harrison Bryant in a game where I know that you don't believe in weather, Bo, and I talk a little shit when you weren't with me. So let's talk weather.
I believe in weather. I believe that football players love playing in weather, and that there's only one type of play that wind is going to affect, and that's your deep go route where the ball trajectory is high.
Okay.
If you're talking deep crossers, it's a lower trajectory pass. You're talking deep post, it can be higher. But these quarterbacks and receivers practice all week in that same stuff. They're not.
I don't disagree. Can I just tell you what I think about when I think about like the weather games?
Yeah.
It's not the quarterback and the receivers I'm worried about. Let me ask you a question: who is the person in the game who can ruin a game before a play even happens? Who ruins games more than anybody else?
The coach.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of just a game script of, oh, it's windy, let's establish the run. So that's I'm a little worried that we're not going to get the air out that we want to see. Because I believe in it. I believe in you. I believe in what you say. 100%. I think it's minimal.
I think even if you look at the data, is the high wind games with rain still end up having the same kind of total. You still have involved. The sloppiness, and the defense is still at a disadvantage because they're having to change directions in those elements. And so your separation on receivers is way easier, especially if the field's wet.
I love that.
You have receivers out there running routes on a slick ground. They know where they're going. They know the route. The defense doesn't know the route. So they're trying to change directions. It's like a college game again. They can get more separation on the routes. And so the wind doesn't have to be – your pass doesn't have to be perfect if the guy's got 3-4 yards of separation. So I just don't – I fade the weather faders. I've been doing it all week. Everybody's like, oh, aren't you worried about the high winds in Cleveland? It's like they play that in that every single year, and you don't really hear about the passing attack taking a hit. It just doesn't happen. In reality, everybody's playing the same game on the same field.
I like it. I like your call. You know what? I gotta say, we're gonna have to wrap Fast.Hard.Finish so you and I can just hang out. You know. But it's been outstanding. Love you guys. Tune in every single Saturday into Sunday. Yeah, we bridge the gap. Football starts today, right?
Yeah.
Right on this very day.
Yeah.
On the East Coast, at least. On the West Coast, we've got a little bit of time left, but I appreciate everybody checking it out. Bo, where can people find you, your work, everything you're working on, and all your shit, everything? Where can they get you at?
First of all, you can find me on Instagram. My food porn page is at BigTimeFlavor_. Yeah. Pretty much just post things that I cook that look good. They photograph well. I don't post everything I cook. I cook almost every day, but whatever makes the photogenic cut, I will put on my Instagram. Twitter at Bo_McBigTime. That's where you find all my retweets of Scott's material because he's a content whore. And then I write 4 articles a week now total. I write 2 for NimbleWsNumbers.com. Wednesday article is the reaction page. It's where I'm kind of looking ahead at the build, saying, okay, who do I fade based on last week getting overpriced and overowned, and who am I going to feature that maybe didn't have such a good week the week before, and they'll be priced down, ownership will be down, confidence in them will be down, but they have a great value matchup. That's what I feature on my Wednesday article. Friday article is the build, where I take a volume play build for cash games like 50-50s. I do pay up on studs for multipliers. It's nice, fun gambling. And then, of course, I do some game stacks for the tournament plays. And so I build 3 different lineups as an example to follow based on the guys that I'm propping up or fading that week. I do surprisingly spicy stacks for Hammercast Network, and it's a lot of fun because I'll come up with 4 or 5 stacks for the DFS slate that people might not be talking about. And so check that out on hammercast.com. And then I also write my pecan takes for podcasticnetwork.com. And that's what I release every Saturday. And that's pretty much just me taking shots in the dark based on plausible sequences of events that might happen. And if I get them right, it's a miracle because they're crazy. They're like, I went over my 4 this week. They're out of left field, but when they happen, I get to have a very nice, sweet victory lap because my crazy mind nailed it. And that's what I like doing. I like writing. I like bullshitting with people on Twitter. I like heckling people in the chat of their shows. I like going on to my dynasty leagues and Sleeper and going to the chat and talking trash there. I'm that guy. I'm always that guy.
He is not that guy. He's the guy. And I got to tell you, I'm excited to have you as one of my guys. Honestly, this year has been a revelation to me in so many things in fantasy football. I mean, I started this year with 3-4 leagues, and now I'm in like 60 leagues, and if you got basketball, I'm in like 80 leagues, whatever. It's crazy. But one of the leagues we're both in is the Hot Box League, and your boy is 6-1, and I'm rolling. So
you better stay healthy because I'm getting hot.
I know you are. And this thing, Bo and me are going back and forth every which way, and I like it. And you can find our head-to-head matchup. We're going to be tweeting about it tomorrow because we're going for the paycheck. Actually, we're going for the double paycheck. Double paycheck / AirPods right now. So
thanks, Rosie.
You know what? Here's the thing. My friend for 24 years, Mike Collins, on the Fantasy Football Millionaires podcast. He's the Ralph Macho on Twitter. I bought him AirPods about a week and a half ago, and it was like, I thought he acted like I bought him like a hooker when he was 18 or something. Like, I mean, he was just like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. And the truth is, you already know because you have them that they're not the best thing ever, but they're the next best thing.
They're useful though. They are so useful.
So useful. And so, I'd be honored to be able to buy you a pair. And the thing about it is, it almost, if I lose and my wife says something, she goes, "Why did you buy another pair of iPods?
I don't have to pay them."
I'm like, why are you doing that? She's got so many questions. Hey. So I listened to, by the way, ding it away for that. Rest in peace, Sean Connery at 90. What a guy. The last man to say in an interview to Barbara Walters that, yes, I do believe that you should smack a woman at times, but not with a closed fist, with an open hand. And so, from Sean Connery.
Rest in peace, my spicy lover.
Rest. And from Sean Connery to your guy, Scott, 50 years younger or 49 years younger, married to a lady and a dad to 2 ladies. I got to tell you, Sean Connery was full of shit. So you never hit a woman. You never put your hands on a woman. If you put your hands on a woman, you're a piece of shit. So that's what I think.
But if you're Scottish, you have to take your lumps.
If you're a male Scot, you got to take your dumps too, because that's how it goes. All right, Fast.Hard.Finish.
My wife will smack you back.
You know what? That's how it goes. It's a big smacker. If you don't know, my name is Scott. I'm a fucking Scot.
Scott Simpson.
I can say any fucking thing I want. I'm a Brit mixed with a Scot mixed with an English lad coming down on you, Dad. Have a great time.
And I'm Bill McBig Time.
Finish. Peace.